The reason I'm running is to make a positive difference in the Osage Nation government. I've seen too much infighting between the legislative and the executive branches. These lawsuits take a toll on our government and they impair the way it's supposed to function. I believe these lawsuits could have been avoided with stronger communication within our government. These lawsuits not only waste time and money, but they also cause division within the nation. And that's not the reason that we have a Congress. It is true that a certain amount of differing opinions is a good thing and it's healthy. And that's why there are 12 individuals that make up a Congress. Each one comes with their own opinions and strengths. But when these differences become combative, that's when the Osage Nation suffers and the Osage people are not being served. We cannot afford to fight amongst ourselves because we have too many forces fighting against us in the outside world. I believe we must support each other, to compromise when we can, to make the best decisions for all of us. I will work toward this end by bringing accountability to the office, by pushing transparency in the legislative process. The reason I want to do this is so that the constituents will know what their congressional representatives are doing inside the session, and also to know their accomplishments outside of session. I believe this is a full-time job, which requires full-time work. And I will do this job full-time so that we can accomplish as much as we can in the time that we're allowed. I will bring with me this dedication to the office if I am elected your next Osage Nation Congressman. I want to work on legislation which strengthens the Osage Nation courts. I believe we need to see more cases tried within our own justice system instead of relying upon the state or the county courts. If we can prosecute more cases of crimes that are committed within the Osage Nation in our own courts, the more appropriate punishment or judgment or resolution can be made. With stronger courts, the nation can be more independent. The nation can also enforce the sentences handed down by the judges through the use of the Osage Nation police when it is necessary. This would help to better protect our citizens. Of course, my central platform has always been to prioritize an elder care program during legislation. This is something the nation has needed for quite some time. Finding funding for this type of program will be easier as a congressman than it was as a member of the Health Authority Board. I will be able to devote more time to the task and to establish funding apart from gaming. I have made connections with the Cherokee government and have had discussions with them about their elder care program. They have invited me, along with other members of the Health Authority Board and members of Congress, to tour their facilities, to see how they've been able to make their programs work, to provide the best care for their tribal members. These are the types of legislations that I want to work toward, to strengthen the Osage Nation and to help the government work more efficiently to provide more services for its citizens. I will bring with me integrity and accountability. Accountability means that I will be held responsible for all of the decisions I make as an Osage congressman. I will be able to explain the rationale I use in voting a particular way on any piece of legislation to the constituents. These laws we'll be proposing and voting on will directly affect the lives of the Osage Nation citizens. And these citizens should be able to speak with their congressional representatives about their wants and needs. Each Congress member is bound by their oath to place the interests of all Osages above any personal or special interests, and I will uphold this oath. I will also bring with me integrity, which means that I will conduct myself with the utmost honesty and morality, and I have done this as a speech-language pathologist. As an SLP, I am bound by the rules of the nation and the state licensure programs to perform my duties so that my patients can trust me as a therapist to make the best decisions for their well-being. These decisions are based in a strict code of ethics, and that code of ethics is instilled in me, and I make all of my decisions with ethical considerations. In fact, I have been bound by the oath of office to the Osage people when I took it in 2018. This is when I became a member of the Health Authority Board. I am very much aware of the responsibilities that come with the office of Congressman, and I will continue to perform my duties with this oath in mind. The number one goal I want is to see an increase in the revenue from all of the Osage Nation enterprises. As we have seen, the nation must diversify. We have become over-dependent upon gaming revenues. Before the pandemic hit us, the two largest areas for profitability were the healthcare infrastructure and energy production. The Osage Nation was in position to take advantage of both. However, this pandemic has changed everything. We don't know what the economy is going to look like when we fully recover from this. However, I do see the need for a stake in the financial sector. I believe there will be a need for an Osage Nation-owned bank. As the economy makes its slow recovery, there will be small businesses which will not reopen. The loans many of these small businesses had will be defaulted on, and this could mean the defaulting of the lending institution themselves. This means loans will be more difficult for anyone to obtain. A bank owned by the nation could invest in its citizens, and we could fund our own enterprises instead of going to another bank which may charge us increased interest rates simply for who we are. My overall goal is for the nation to achieve more independence, and financial independence is a key to all other successes. That is my goal for the Osage Nation, to achieve financial independence as much as possible. By profession, I am a speech-language pathologist. I work with elderly patients in a home environment. This means that I evaluate and prescribe therapies for patients who are recovering from heart attacks, strokes, traumatic brain injuries, and for those patients who are suffering from dementia. I use therapy techniques to help patients regain their safe swallow so they can eat regular food, to help patients breathe more efficiently, and to help caregivers cope with a patient's dementia so that the patient can still live the best life that they can as they age in place. For the past 2 years, I've been a member of the Osage Nation Health Authority Board. We have been tasked with the oversight of the Osage Clinic, and as a board member, I have authored a recruitment letter designed to entice medical school students who've been recipients of the Higher Education Scholarship to come back to the clinic to work as a physician. I myself was a recipient of the Higher Education Scholarship, and I want the opportunity to give back to the community that helped me get my education. I earned a master's degree from Northeastern State University in beautiful downtown Tahlequah, Oklahoma, for which I am very proud. My family is from the Wakonkalee District, and I've been a committeeman with the Pawhuska War Dance Committee for most of my life. I started as a water boy when I was about 12 years old. My mother and sister, who live out of state, return to Osage County every year to participate in the Elonshka dances, and it is our family's favorite time of year. I hope to be your next Osage Nation Congressman, and I humbly ask for your vote on June 1st. Gakonau.